Good morning, guys. Today, I wanted to do something a little bit different than what I usually do. I've done watching the games first and then kind of doing a quick overview. I've done blind reviews. This one is a blind review, but I'm not going to stop at all. Like, I'm not going to hit pause. Now, I'm only going to do that 2 times because 3 times might be a little difficult, but we'll do 2 times. And before we go into it, we just have to talk about the comps as always. So, they have Renekton, Viego, Ahri, Caitlyn, Karma. Obviously, you know, the first thing you think is like, okay, you need a path for bot. Get plates for your Caitlyn, Karma. Maybe you can swap it, whatever the reason the top lane matchup is bad. And again, just kind of pushing the pace. Ahri versus Aurora, it's just a skill matchup. You know, you just have to be very careful as the Ahri, because if the Aurora does get good trades on you, it's going to feel really bad real quick. Nidalee Aurora is not really a thing, and Nidalee generally with this entire comp is like, I gotta be honest, like their comp is very skill based. Like they kind of all just have to do their own thing well in the beginning of the game. Like pretty much like this is like the kind of thing where like I'll just tell my team like you just have to like slay out, like just slay out, play well, and good luck. That's it. Like, you don't have a lot of, how would I say, you don't have a lot of room for error, because, like, you don't just have, like, oh, we're going to get into a team fight even though we're down 2-3k, you know, we just have these awesome buttons we could just press, and it'll work. No, like, you got to actually play well to do well with this comp, and it's pretty surprising they would go with this. Now, the pike into Karma, like, this can be pretty scary for her, and they even have an MF, who, again, can dish out quite a bit of damage compared to other AD picks in the beginning of the game. So that's nice. I mean, like, it's essentially a kill lane, right? Like, they're basically playing a kill lane. So again, like, both junglers are going to come down here. Supposedly, they should be both coming down here. Because it's not like her going top is going to do too much anyways. And they're just going to have to play it out that way. I mean, like, they have a stronger mid jungle. And they, in theory, if they play well, have a better bot. And that's kind of enough to stack the drags. Oops. Wow. Nice stack the drags and go from there. So I'm very curious. Like, once I start this, I'm very curious to see, like, how does this actually play out? I'm because, like, again, they have to actually get a lead in the beginning of the game, or stay even at the very least. They can't get behind. They get behind, it's gonna be bad. Okay. 2 times. And let's go.
Famous for being feast or famine. You know, you get ahead, you can run over a game, you get behind.
So they play for the bot push. Pretty common idea to do, especially knowing, again, you're playing for bot lane. They could have checked around topside GenG to see if anyone's showing. If they're not, maybe they could have gone a ward on topside to just confirm, but they do have the Raptors ward, which is technically enough. Notice that they ward their own blue Gromp area because, yeah, the enemy could have late invaded and, like, just taken the camps. So it's a good measurement to take, but they did use, like, they used all their wards, by the way. All 5 wards, level 1, are used. Nice Q. Yeah, he eats shit a little bit, but it's not that big of a deal. Nice Q. He did lose a pot, though. They gain zone, so now they have to do their best to CS under turret. And, like, this is gonna be a big factor towards, like, them staying in the lead. Or not, like even. Because if they CS well, and yeah, he CS super well. He got literally everything. That's amazing. So he's even. That's amazing. Love it. Both junglers are clearing down. As you can tell, they're gonna do a full clear. Chovy's getting the better of Baker, and that's gonna be a problem. These guys have a ward, so they see it in Italy. There's no threat. No pike flash initiate. Owner still walks through. Oh, because he saw Canyon crossing through. So, like, it's like, okay, we're clearly giving this up. And that's kind of interesting because now that the Viego's stuck down here, it's not like these guys can really commit any kind of, like, play. Like, the Caitlyn Karma are not gonna... Oh, sorry, the pike can't just, like, commit himself into them without worry. And they also missed their chance to base swap. Yeah, I mean, I don't know what he's supposed to do. In the end, his wave was bad. Canyon could have tried to cover, but he decided not to. So he progressed one camp over him, so he'll be on bot side first. These guys were never able to find a base on the cannon to swap, and the Aatrox already TP'd, so the swap is kind of like not a thing. Like if they did it, like this would be the timer where like Nidalee clears her 2 camps, and then the bot lane bases and swaps here, especially because Renekton is half HP, and they just go for it. But they actually show Caitlyn top first. Okay, they're gonna match, because yeah, like I mean, the Aatrox can't actually like fight this. So it's good by T1 to keep their duel lane ahead on the play. So I like that. Like, I definitely like that.
Dragon is up down there in the bottom lane. You can see
because they know like these guys have these guys want to get out of it. They want to at least alleviate it a little bit. They didn't expect Canyon to just be there or something. Wow! Holy shit! That's crazy.
Keria and Guma get nothing back here. They do get a dragon on the bot side thanks to Owner, but what a big play for
that actually just completely changes the game.
Goal to go right into Ruler's pockets.
Chovy's space will be interrupted, but so much credit on that dive needs to be given to Duro because he flashes.
That completely changes the game because Canyon finished his bot clear, and so he started moving up. Owner decided to take the dragon because it was free, but then his bot lane is left exposed, and unfortunately his mid lane is just losing. Like look where the mid lane is. Like he got shoved in, and they just sent it. And because Karma also lost her flash, like there's not much she can do either.
You can see the stress of the T1 fans in the audience. Of course, it's only the
That's really rough. I mean, Faker ends up picking up some plates after the play, but the damage is already done. I mean, Ruler got 2 kills. And so, look at what Canyon's doing. Canyon has now decided, like, they're not like, okay, we're not going to play for the grubs. Fuck the grubs. We're just going to play to recoup the map, and then we're going to try to take this. Owner is like, no, no, no. I'm not going to give up on my bot side. I'm not going to give up my red. I'm going to stop doing the grubs. Okay, so he stops doing the grubs. The Aurora can just lane against Renekton perfectly fine. And Renekton is going to hate his life. And then hopefully Faker can do something versus the Aatrox, because if he can't, then it's kind of like GenG just going up. Yeah, I mean...
And Owner is now starting to get ahead here. Good hook.
Canyon kind of just like walked in, but Owner's kind of like tracing him a little bit, because he thought Owner would actually finish his Krugs, and so he just wouldn't be present in that situation, so it was a good play by Owner. So well played, yeah, like literally well played to him. Yeah, it's a little hard, but it is what it is. So Nidalee's going to keep clearing downward for her camps. He's freezing the wave. He's going to bounce, though.
Yeah, that Bloodthirster will be very hard to poke out.
So he's going to have a building wave on bot. They're not going to try to dive, are they?
He's going to have to position himself very, very well because Faker...
He's crashing it now, so it looks like he's looking for a base, yeah.
I feel like the first big fight we get is going to be so explosive, and I feel like whoever
drags in less than a minute. So he ended up bursting the wave because he wanted to make sure he got his base before this happened. Ouch. That fucking sucks.
You can feel the tension. Dragon spawning in 15 seconds.
Aurora has first move into mid always, which is kind of a problem because this allows them to get vision over T1. And so, like, this is like a rare opportunity where you see like Ahri, because Aurora moved so far, Ahri got like a shift timer, and now she's joining the team. So it's like, well, I'm not gonna get it over these guys. And then Ruler starts eating some shit. Yeah, and I mean, Chovy was just sitting on the side because naturally, like, yeah, he's gonna be on the side like after the play, and they kind of just walked into him, which was bad of T1. Made them pay, and they lose the drag.
Does earn them this dragon here. GenG don't get a kill, but
Viego was too low. Top side's open. Herald's in 2 minutes. Nidalee just needs to clear out her top side base and go from there. I mean, unless they have something else they want. I mean, they see the crab. Duro is always finding the Viego, which is good.
Now has that Triforce done. Is going to be doing a lot of damage. Canyon just rush straight towards the Lich Bane. Major item completions are starting to come through. You know, Ruler has had that BT for a while, but Guma now has his Yuntal. You can see Faker with the Malignance completed.
There's the base. And then she's going to go bot side and get more camps. Because you always want to progress. They can't play for the enemy red. This is not a thing.
Everyone goes in. Everybody goes for that kill. Sundered Sky completed for Team's Aatrox. As you can see, Doran stopping to get the tier 2 boots first. Still needs to make his way to the full Strikebreaker.
I think that's one of the most difficult things about Nidalee is understanding exactly how much damage you're going to put out if you do elect to actually pounce in there. It is so risky. You have to be certain.
Curious is in their face.
Otherwise, you're so incredibly squishy.
They're still on mid wave at the same time. Aurora's actually shifting to help give some like move to it, but she does drop the top wave, which is less ideal. So and in the end, Aurora kind of like screws up there. She should have just played for herself.
The Bloodthirster from Ruler is providing so much value in this game. Whenever he gets hit by these Peacemakers, whenever he gets hit by anything from the Karma or from the Ahri, as long as it's not a charm, it's very easy for Ruler to
They're keeping good control over mid, and now they're even shifting Keen over to drop a wave so they can get mid over them. And so this is like how GenG is like fixing the situation. Obviously now you can tell Faker's hitting bot, he's getting a wave over them, so like yeah, like they add Keen sack so they could have control over Herald.
Owner jumps into the Spectral Maul on Duro, but he misses. Doran looking off to the side, but he's already been shot. T1 bringing in the TP as GenG go after the Herald. It is claimed and secured by Canyon. Keen trying to get away from the Karma. Ruler goes to the wall, flash with the
He flashes in, but the problem is no one could follow up at the same time. And so, yeah, it was just bad by Doran. Like, he was hoping they could one-shot someone, because if they one-shot someone, then it's good, you know? Like, look, he's gonna hop over, he's gonna flash onto this guy, and they do kill him, but the MF ulti's coming right in their face, and no one else can follow up. And their comp, I mean, it's like, it's pretty fragile, right? Like, if Renekton's killing himself, the Viego possesses, but like, no one else can hit while they're like, that's coming out. And then the Aurora arc also can come out. And it's just so much upfront damage to your core that you just can't play it that way. Like, if they're stacked as 5 and your Renekton is like doing it that way, it just doesn't work. I understand what he was looking at, but it just can't work that way. Maybe if Renekton was coming from behind, then it looks significantly better, because like, yeah, if they throw their shit to like the enemies coming in for them, then the Renekton is gonna have a lot of like DPS still to come out. But if Renekton's like taking the full brunt of that damage plus his team, then yeah, it's pretty bad. And in this case, like, I mean, I would love to rewind because I was kind of like talking through like my thoughts in this one. I kind of missed, but it looks like they basically were stacking on top side, and yeah, it just didn't work out. There's a lot of flashes missing. I mean, Jungle Tom has no flash on both sides. Enemy duo, Huma and Kyria, have no flash, so they kind of just need to wait out until those come back up to really do much. And yeah, it's kind of sucks that you have to kind of wait, but it's important.
Faker spent a ton of time in the side lane, and as a result, is the only player on the team with a gold lead, so he's going to have to find a big moment to equalize things, because everyone else is falling behind.
I completely agree. His charm could be the difference maker. Ruler with the cleanse available. But if they can get that summon spell out, Faker finding...
Otacon is coming up, but honestly, I am super down to give up Otacon. Like, I think Otacon, you don't want to take this fight still, at least not on spawn. And finding a pick with Viego and Renekton, or even just with Ahri, would be infinitely better. So like, they're TPing because they're like, oh, well, Aurora doesn't have TP yet, it's almost up. The thing is, even if they take Otacon, if they get aced, the game's over. So, like, Renekton's already fucked. Like, he's already done with this fight. He TP'd and he's already screwed. They lose Otacon and they lose the fight. And now the game's over. Like, in all theory, the game is over, and it just stems from the fact that this is like, T1 used to be the kind of team that would identify that sometimes doing the objective is not worthwhile. Like, your Renekton is falling apart, but if he gets a kill, 2 kills, like, you know, or even just an assist, and your Viego's picking that up, it becomes good. But they didn't do that. I mean, like, it was just a bait. Like, it's always just a bait to go for that Otacon. And now the Renekton has no flash again, and now look what you see what they're doing. Now they're looking for it, but the problem is there's no objectives up. So it's like, it's just not gonna work.
The only member that remains deathless on the side of T1. Ona hasn't given up. Looks for a play on the Chovy.
Yeah, it's just not gonna work because they're very wary that like, oh well,
the game is quickly slipping away from them, and they need to find,
you know, there's nothing to tempt GenG. So now they're just thinking about, how do we make sure we don't die? How do we make sure we don't die? And then how do we push into their jungle for vision? That's it. They can literally stack this game too with drags, and they can play it slow, and they'll win. Because they know that their comp like scales well, especially when it's like actually ahead, you know? And since the Renekton's in the gutter, the Aatrox is going to be way more useful. The Nidali is in a very good spot. I mean, she's up 30 CS, and she's always clearing her camps. Like, look, we have 30 seconds before drag. Nidali's not like around the drag yet to just even throw spears. Like, she's making sure she's clearing as much as she can before. So now they're 4 stack mid, Keen's gonna TP in,
to the World's 2023 semifinals. When Faker was on his ear, he found Ruler. When Ruler was on GEG, and he found
and they
Daniel
have to give
to
it
win
up.
there.
And then the problem with this now is that T1 isn't even poised to cross map, so they have to fight this if they want to do something. So they don't cross map, they don't get anything out of this. They do get a pick, but it's just not enough. It's just not enough. I mean, the Aatrox is so strong, and Guma ends up losing his flash again, which is a huge problem. And Viego's like one of those champions where like sometimes like people pick them just because like, oh well, it'll just fix it, but like watch, like fix our shit comp, but like their comp isn't like really like bad shit. It's just like how it ended up going. So like they kill this guy. But if you look at the MF above, like I'm not gonna rewind it, of course, but like the MF was literally 1v2ing. Like she's actually just doing way more in the fight compared to Caitlyn. Way more. And it's just looking bad. That's all I can say. It's just looking so rough. If the MF is 1v2ing your enemy bot lane, like there was just no help from that. So like your entire top side is just trying to like win out.
Really strong. Not only does he have that big gold,
but they're weak. Like they're not like really ahead or anything, so it's like, okay, well what do we do? The Aurora is very hard to catch on side. Like you need a lot of damage to make sure it works. Like some of their picks are like, you can see that they're getting close, right? Like they can almost kill someone, maybe they do kill someone, they can get it possessed. But they just eat so much damage on like by everyone else. But by the time they get the takeover, they can't win.
Able to get the Baron there. Chovy came so close to dying, but he's able to get out, and the ace in the hole was blocked as
and
well.
GenG is just, I mean, they're just playing it pretty well. I mean, like, the Neely can just walk over, throw some spears, get some damage. Like, the Viego tries to push him off. He gets pulled, and he thinks that's the look, but obviously he has to quickly back off, because, I mean, yeah, he's a shit stain. Like, he's a stun bot, Renekton at this point. He's a stun bot. And like every time he gets in range to do something, his teammates are just too far. Like, and it's also just the nature of like champion Caitlyn, and that like if you go in and you try to one shot, like the Caitlyn, it just doesn't really do much compared to other picks. If she was like Ezreal, if she was even just like Kaisa, who can like go in as well, and they can kind of send it and like have a lot of damage attention going around, like, oh, I have to focus on this guy, I have to focus on this guy. Then it looks better, but the Caitlyn can't. She has to stand back and just hit. Even Jinx would be better because she can just throw the rocket, right? And it has more range. The Caitlyn just doesn't really offer much in these situations, honestly.
And now I think the only hope for T1 is you try to buy time until an Elder spawn and you pray that you can somehow get over there and steal it, but GenG I don't think are going to give you that time. They are so far ahead at this point. 7,000 gold, Mountain Soul against a composition that needs that first kill, that needs the upfront burst, and is now going to have to do so much more of it if they want to be able to get anything done. And back at the very beginning of this game, before minions even spawned, Isaac, you were talking about the difficulty.
I also think T1 though, like for how this game was going, of course, you know, owner would realize like, oh shit, like, yeah, I probably can't do like the dragon when my bot lane just does not have control. Because they also, keep in mind, like T1's bot lane, if I remember correctly when I was watching it, they decided to stop hitting the wave, the pull, because they knew that their jungler was not going to be on their side. And I wonder if GenG like took that as an identification, being like, oh, you know what? Like, I bet they're gonna do drag. I don't know if they had it warded, like, to, like, confirm. But I'm curious if that was, like, a big sign to be like, yo, we could start planning for this play, by the way. Because, like, if they're not hitting this wave to grow it and, like, hit our turret, something's wrong. Like they're playing, like, something's off. And that could be a telltale sign, and, like, of course, the Aurora just winning the mid matchup. Like I said, like, it's just one of those things where, like, if you play against Aurora, like, you just have to, you just must make sure you dodge her spell. She does a ton of damage. Even if she just hits the Q and gets an auto off, like the electrocute damage with the proc, it's rough. It's really rough. And Ahri doesn't really have like the range advantage versus Aurora. Like, yeah, she can hit a Q. That's kind of it. Like most of the time, like the Aurora's probably just gonna fish to like hit an E, because like the range of the E is like good enough to match the Q. But if you start eating the other stuff, like it's, yeah, it got bad real quick. And of course the dragon fight too, you know. The second dragon, they overextended and they forgot about Aurora and they got blasted.
looking for a chance to steal the bullet time, immediately forcing him all the way away. He tries to survive, but Canyon will bury him in the river. GenG, Baron, +1.
Faker tries his best to find a play onto Chovy, but he will not allow it. Chovy holds the line.
Like I said, I also think that at a certain point, T1 needed to realize, like, at least by the Otacon timing, like, yeah, this is fucked. We need to start giving up objectives and fishing for a pick. Just a pick. Get some, like, initiative tempo on the map, because, like, the guy's dead for 40 seconds, so you kind of have a man advantage for 40 seconds, so you can kind of just get farm without too much complication, and that's all it takes. And that's it. That's the game. That is T1 versus GenG Game 5. No pause. No pause, all in one sitting. And, like, really... The MVP, oh god, I need to switch to yellow. The MVP is Chovy, of course. Like, I mean, he won his lane, and like that was the huge factor that like won the game in the end of the day. The worst player of the game, unfortunately, I was gonna say Faker because like him, this situation happening definitely is on him in many ways, but there's a large like it, yes, in part for the early game it is Faker, in other stages it's Doran, in some ways it's Owner at times. Like the entire T1 top side has to take like, and of course Owner is like the least like of these two, like he's the least guilty. It's just like that one dragon tank, for instance, in like some other situations, he needs to like move the map a different way. For Doran and Faker, I mean, like, yeah, there were some looks that Doran did that were bad. For Faker, it's the laning phase. That's really all you can hope for in the end of the day. Is like everyone just kind of does their thing. And I mean, yeah, like if I look back at this game, you know,
shows how everything is
look at this.
Like this.
Faker misses charm. He gets hit by the Q. Ouch. Like I said, you get hit by that, it's so bad.
But it does mean Chovy's
He progressed the game, you know, like the Aatrox, he ends up staying versus basing because he has good conditions, right? Like Doran ate shit and he has to base. We have a health pot and biscuit, and so he's trying to one-shot the wave because he's like, okay, maybe I can get this done. This guy's not TPing. He isn't able to, which leaves him in an awkward spot, and that's where Owner gets the free play, and it's like, okay, maybe we can do something with this, right? Because Owner even got the kill. Now watch, Owner pass down, Faker's half HP.
You love these drive-bys from Canyon. You can be so annoying as an
so he's half HP right now,
basically an extra spear, maybe throw down an auto,
and then he eats both abilities.
And that is just giving him basically an extra potion worth of HP.
And now it's fucked. Now he's fucked again.
Favor. And because there was no camps really up and
this timer is like very unfortunate because if you look at Owner,
and this is something you want to
there's no point on Owner going through mid. Like they do get like a pink on the drag, but for Owner, like he should just do the Krugs and go top.
As well. Level 6 is really valuable for Duro, having that execute.
Or he looks through bot. And he looks through bot, there's nothing. And so he's thinking, well, I could do this, right? But if you look at that, like, Caitlyn's not hitting this. She stopped. And so they know that Faker has the base, and Caitlyn's not hitting this, something's up. Like, something's really up. Like, she's giving a ton of respect, so even, like, Karma's not here. And so this gives so much leeway. Like, Ruler, you start seeing Ruler starting to, like, really stretch his muscles. He's like, okay, well, I guess I'll just do what I want. And this is where, like, it's becoming a problem. Because now that Faker has, like, showed up here, I mean, it's already too late, honestly, in many ways. Like, Viego had to be on mid for this next wave now.
500 gold lead for T1
on the top side.
Yeah, he did.
Valuable for Duro, having that execute just gives you that much more kill pressure.
Yeah, they would have to be there.
Mid, then going to be sent top lane.
He's not.
I'm trying to think what is the fix, because I mean the main fix is just like
giving him basically an
Faker
extra
can't eat
potion worth of
shit.
HP. It
Really.
slowly kind of pushes the lane
And
in
Karma
their
can't go
favor.
through mid here. I mean, like,
Because there was
really,
no
honestly,
camp
I
really
get that
up
Karma's like
available, he's
getting
not
vision on
spending any
drag.
time, right? He's just doing a
And if
quick
she wants to
drive-by,
do that,
throws a
that's
spear, sees
fine.
if there's an angle, throws out a heal.
I guess.
He's being very efficient.
But personally,
this is what you want to see
like,
from any top Nidalee player.
Now
I mean, you're dedicating a pink to it.
From
And I'd
any
rather
top
use.
Nidalee
I mean, they do
player.
have a pink top,
Now Tion will initiate the
but I'd rather
swap.
dedicate the pink on like top river for my team to kind of just keep amplifying my Caitlyn, and the Viego's gonna finish this clear and go upwards to match.
Ruler, though, looking to match
Because even if the Nidalee sneaks the drag, it's not a big deal.
900 gold lead for T1.
It's really
Just a
not.
single kill.
So mid
so
eats
far
shit.
in
We
this
kind of
game.
overspend our time on Karma on bot. We can't even
Dragon is up
defend
down there
this.
in the
It's like
bottom
the
lane. You can
pink
see the ping
on Pike. And keep in mind, both
from
junglers know
C1.
they pad down.
Viego
It's just the
moves to
Nidalee's gonna be a
take
little
that
bit more
first
ahead because,
objective.
you know, the Viego doing the
Not gonna
top
be
play.
contested. As you can see, Doran
And
again just getting the better of his opponent in that 1v1 with a situation
I mean, they just,
pressure from Durham and King.
it's just too late. And like once that happens, like the game kind of like
even earlier.
unhinges a little bit. You go a little bit further.
He does not want
Breaker from
Lapse and force and maybe get a kill, because that was a lot of
I mean,
time
obviously this was
spent
stupid
just
by
to get that
Canyon.
win.
Like this guy just over testing,
Wanted to try,
right?
I respect Pike also massive, and both
But you go to this situation, which I talked about, and it's like
the clans
they
get
end up
away
having
there,
the Ari
get slowed
sack
down. Carrier
to
looking
shift,
for the
right?
room,
Like
trying to
technically she would be
damage on
sacking,
Ruler.
right?
Forced the clans to
Ruler
get away
actually
there,
eats some shit, which
as
was
he will heal
good.
back up. The
And then they
Bloodthirster
go
doing
way
work
too far.
as
Notice
Canyon
like the
gets
Ari
away
even like
from the charm from
flash
Baker.
charms
Chovy
for
goes in,
him.
Bloodthirster doing work as Canyon
But he has
forced
flash.
the clans to get away there.
So like this is just a shit play. Like he literally has flash and he just read it. He dodged it. And like losing that fight, that was bad. That was so bad. And the rest of it's history. But yeah, like I just wanted to go over those 2 points after like not doing rewinds because I just needed to know, could they have played this better? Like what for sure, like was there ways to like prevent some of these situations? And there was. They just didn't read it the same way. And GenG did. And congrats to GenG. I mean, they just, I mean, honestly, literally, like, they're reading the map better and use, like, with their champs. Yeah, if their champs are ahead or doing well, it could be a pretty damn obnoxious game. So it was good. It was a good watch.